Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bubbs on Sports podcast. Today is Friday, October 21st. Hope everybody's having a good day so far and had a good rest of their day yesterday. It is, in fact, Friday, October 21st here today, coming off a couple big nights in the world of sports as postseason baseball rolls along. The New York Yankees are completely embarrassing themselves with the Game 1 and Game 2 losses. Nothing's going the Yankees' way right now. I mean, just no hitting. The pitching's been all right. Last night, Sevy did fine other than the one mistake to Bregman. But the bats aren't going anywhere. You're hearing excuses from Aaron Boone. You're hearing Sevy say the Astros got lucky. I mean, it's a mess right now. It really is. And the Yankees, if they continue to play like this, they're going to be in a spot where in a couple days they're going to be packing their bags and they're not going to be in the postseason anymore because that's the way we're going. And that's the way we're playing right now, and that's the way it looks. So it's been really bad. It's been ugly. It's been frustrating. And all those words kind of, describe where the Yankees are at, not scoring with runners in scoring position, overly relying on the home run ball, questionable bullpen decisions. Why is Clark Schmidt out there in Game 1? So many things right now are going wrong for the Yankees, and they got to turn it around because you're down 2-0. And against an Astros team where year after year it's the same garbage with the Astros getting to the ALCS, the Yankees getting there, not being able to beat Houston. Like, we've been down this road before. We've been down this road, and we've been down this road many times. And most of the time, actually all the time, it looks like it has now, where your team's not hitting, they can't hit the Astros pitching, questionable bullpen decisions, and it's just simply not good. And hearing the excuses, hearing all these different things are ridiculous. At the end of the day, right now the Yankees just aren't good enough. They just can't beat the Astros. I mean, they just can't do it. Bad approaches at the plate, not hitting with runners in scoring position. I mean, so many things are going wrong here for this New York Yankee team. And they've got to turn it around because you're down 2-0. You now come back to the Bronx for 3 games. You got to win at least 2 of those games. You got to win at least one of those games, or else, you're going to get swept in 4. You got to win out. You have to win at least 2 of them if you want to, continue on. If you win 1 game, series could still be over at the end of it because there's 3 games. If you go 1-2 at home, series is over. So you have to win 2 home games in order to get back to Houston. So that's the spot you put yourself in, but it is what it is when you're not hitting. And your roster seems very questionable, and your bullpen moves by Boone are extremely questionable as well. So it's frustrating. It is what it is. This is where we're at. They have a day off today, much needed. Cole will need to have another big performance tomorrow, along with all the other pitching, as things just aren't going the way we. I don't know why. I don't want to say the way we expected, because I think we all expected. I did not predict the Yankees to win this series. But I don't know if we expected it to be this bad. I don't know if we expected 30 strikeouts in 2 games. Yankees have struck out 30 times in the first 2 games. 17 in Game 1 and 13 last night. That's pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. 30 strikeouts in 2 games. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, ridiculous numbers from this Astros pitching, and completely unacceptable when you're looking at it from the perspective of the Yankees. So, got to find a way. You're at home, especially no excuses now. You can make all the excuses you want. Oh, it's on the road. Now we head home. All right, great. Series doesn't start until both teams, finally play home games, all that stuff. Great. That's great. Now go prove it. Go out there and find a way to win 2 or 3 at home. Bring the series back to Houston and find a way. Let's see it. It's not going to be easy, but we'll see how it all plays out. So, that's what I got for my little Yankee rant to start here. It's just been awful. Not much else you got to say. I mean, it hasn't been good. I mean, it's just been, it starts at the top. And the series isn't over, but at the end of the day, and it is a Football Friday podcast, and I'll get to football, and I'll get to Elijah Moore, and I'll get to, McCaffrey, CMC, all that great stuff that's going on. Well, Elijah Moore's not great. I'll get into that, though. But, I mean, all of, this all starts at the top. It all starts with Cashman. Analytical-driven team, bringing in the wrong pieces. I was talking to somebody last night, and I used the reference, at times you look at this Yankee team, and it's like this team is, the Yankees every year try to scotch tape a team together, where they try to bring in these other veterans, make these dumb trades, trade deadline acquisitions never help, And it's just like the same garbage every year. We saw it last year, and we're seeing it again this year. And we saw it the year prior. And oh yeah, the year before that. I mean, it's just, there's not much homegrown talent. There's like Donaldson's like, there's so many questions with this roster when you look at it up and down, you look at the lineup. There really is. And Carpenter pinch hitting in the 9th inning, I understand lefty, I get that. You want to pinch hit for Higgy. Higgy's not, amazing at hitting, obviously, but Carpenter has shown you nothing since in the playoffs. He showed you nothing in the 2 games he pinch hit for in Cleveland, and the 1 game he played in Game 1, he struck out, 3-4 times? He played terrible. So to put him up in the bottom of the 9th, 2 outs with a runner on, being LeCastro, who came in and pinch ran for Donaldson, right? Like, what's the point of that? I'd rather see Higgy out there. I'd rather see Trevino out there, who's been very clutch this year. Not bringing in Carpenter, and I like Carpenter a lot. His year was amazing, but the magic's wearing off. He's not the same since the broken foot. He's just not. Plain and simple. No other way to put it. So, I'll tell you this. If the Yankees lose this game, it loses series in 5. And let's say they win tomorrow night, lose Sunday and Monday, and the season's over. And again, we all want them to come back. Sure, I want the Yankees to win 4 straight and turn this thing around and get to the World Series. We all want that. That's the goal. But right now, it looks as if this might be a 5-game series where the Yankees lose. I don't think the Yankees will get swept. I think they'll find a way to win at least 1 game. But that's 1 game. You got to find a way to win 4 of them. And right now, the Yankees, it's hard for them to just score runs right now, let alone win games. And it's all over the place. It's the bullpen. It's the hitting. It's the strikeouts. Bad approaches. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times. It is so frustrating, the amount of times last night I was sitting there watching the game, and they looked at pitches down the middle. I mean, fastballs right down the middle. I think Higgy might have had 2 in his at-bat. Stanton had 1. He also swung through 1. Like, there's been a couple pitches where they've been right down the middle. Yankees look at them, next pitch in the dirt, and they swing at it. I mean, why is Carpenter swinging at every pitch in the dirt? The pitch that ended the game, the check swung in a pitch that was in the dirt. Like, why are we even thinking about swinging at that pitch? So, it's just... And I'll tell you this, if the Yankees lose in 5, let's just say they get swept. You can't sit here and tell me Aaron Boone has a job next year. And you can't sit here and tell me Cashman does too. Because now this is, 12 years of no championship, or whatever it is. 13 years if you don't win? I don't even know. It's long, way too long without a championship. And every year it's the same garbage. You go into spring training, the goal's to win a championship. We set that day 1. And then as the year progresses, as the year go on, you go into the postseason, and you lose to the same team every year. And you know what that tells me? That tells me one organization's gotten it right in Houston in terms of the talent they've brought in and they found a way, and another organization is still looking for answers, and an organization that hasn't gotten it right. And they've had about 3-4 different chances to take down the Astros, and they haven't been able to do it once. Not even close to being able to do it. The last time they were close to beating the Astros was in 2017 of the ALCS Game 7. And oh yeah, Joe Girardi was the manager then. Aaron Boone has done nothing as a manager against the Astros. Nothing. And the Astros are going to be good for a long time. Look at all their young pieces. Alvarez, Jeremy Pena. Altuve's still got a lot of gas left. Bregman's still got a lot left. I mean, Verlander, yes, he's 39, but he seems like he might be the Tom Brady of baseball. He could probably, he looks like he's definitely got another year ahead of him. He has shown no signs of slowing down. As a matter of fact, he's at one of his best years of his career. The Yankees got to get with the times. They really do. They really do. I mean, and the questionable bullpen decisions, too, by Boone, he has to be to blame as well. And then to have the audacity to go into his press conferences says the reason Aaron Judge didn't hit the home run because the roof was open. I understand there was wind there, but are you kidding me? You're going to make that excuse for the reason why we lost the game because it was windy? Bregman's home run got out perfectly okay. And that's not a knock on Judge saying he didn't have enough power, but Judge, it just didn't go out. It is what it is. It was a nice play by Kyle Tucker. I mean, are you kidding me? You're going to sit here and tell me that the reason Judge, you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, that's unlucky, it's, that would have been, that should have been 390 foot, the roof being open. don't even sit here and tell me that, Boone. When you play in a stadium, Yankee Stadium doesn't have a dome. They're playing outdoors every night. I mean, come on now. The Astros, Bregman had no issue with it. The night prior, Rizzo had no issue with it. Stanton had no issue with it. It just obviously wasn't hit hard enough and obviously wasn't hit far enough. I mean, are you kidding me to sit here and say, and I like Sevy a lot, but to say the Astros got lucky, you left the pitch right over the heart of the plate. It's Alex Bregman. He's one of the better third basemen in baseball. I mean, he swung at he executed it well. He swung at a pitch he thought he could hit. He got good contact, got a good barrel on it, and he hit a homer. I mean, what am I missing here? What am I missing here? So, what are we? 10 minutes into the video, Yankees lose 3-2 last night, 4-2 the night prior, 30 strikeouts in 2 games, 17 in game 1, 13 again last night. They get a day off today, and Boone says that Donaldson should be in the lineup tomorrow. I don't see why in the world Donaldson should be in the lineup. I know he played decent last night with, the what was it, double or 2 or however many he had. I'd have to look back at my scorebook, but I still would go IKF at third, put Peraza at short, Oswaldo in left, and then obviously Bader, Judge, and the rest being Cole, Trevino tomorrow. Then Rizzo and Torres, and then have Stanton DH. That'd be my lineup. I think that's the best lineup you're rolling out. But again, the Yankees just aren't full of talent. But there's also the part of the manager where it's like, I understand IKF's defense not good, but he's better at third. He is. Stats show that. And he's played a little bit of third this year, and he was better there. Play him. I mean, Donaldson's approach is terrible. His mechanics are so bad. Everything they teach you in baseball, keep your weight on your backside. And every time you see him lunging forward. And that's why when he takes his swings, that's why he barely gets them. Because he's lunging forward. And he's doing it so bad. Like earlier in the year, it wasn't this bad. Like earlier in the season, he wasn't this bad where the weight would be such on the upper half. Now it is. So, you have a day off and you have to win tomorrow. And for Garrett Cole, he had 2 very good starts in Cleveland. He was warming up in the bullpen in Game 5 if they needed him 2 days after he started. So he's been a workhorse for us this postseason. He's been a workhorse in the postseason for his entire career. He's going to need to go out there tomorrow and do what he's done all postseason. Give us 6-7 strong innings baseball. But I say again, yes, the bullpen blew it, kind of blew it in Game 1. And Schmidt shouldn't have been out there. I don't know why. And then Boone says that Herman, they're waiting for a long-distance situation. That's as long-distance as it gets. That really is as long-distance as it gets. That situation where, Tyone's out of there after 4 1/3. Herman comes in. That's a long-distance situation. What are you waiting for? A starter to go 2 innings to throw Herman out there for 5? Like, why isn't Herman out there? Why? So I don't understand that. And then, yesterday, again, the pitching was, Stevie had let up a 3-run homer. That was it. That was it. They didn't score anything else, and Stevie was good otherwise, and the bullpen did its job. The Astros didn't do a ton offensively outside of the 1 3-run homer, but the Yankees offense couldn't muster up any runs. They just couldn't. They scored 2 runs. It's both. It's not able to score in 1. Bullpen's a question, number 2. Even if, you got to win tomorrow night because, the Game 4 will then be Nestor, and then if a Game 5 is needed, they're going to throw Tyone out there. So you need to win tomorrow night because if you win tomorrow night, all you need to find a way, and all you need to do is win one of the next 2 games, and you'll be back in Houston, and you'll be, the series will live on. Now, if you lose tomorrow, well, that makes Sunday a must-win, and that makes Monday a must-win, and one of those must-wins, Tyone's going to be on the mound. And I understand Tyone was all right. He did his job on Thursday, on Wednesday, Game 1. Do you really want him out there in Game 4 if you're with the possibility of avoiding being swept? And then what? If you're trying to be swept, then, or if you're trying to avoid being swept and you're down 3-0. Or down 3-1, then what? Do you roll Cole out there in Game 6 to try to get to a Game 7? Then who's your Game 7 starter? Tomorrow's big. It is. And also, let's be real here. Down 3-0, you're not going to come back if you're down 3-0. You're not going to come back in a series. Now, if you win tomorrow night, or tomorrow, whatever, 5 o'clock game, you're up. It's a 2-1 series. And let's be real here, it's really not that. I mean, yes, it's 2-1 series, but if Nasty goes out there on Sunday and shoves and pitches great, the series is tied. And by blink of an eye, boom, just like the Astros won 2 days in a row, boom, we look Sunday night, and the Yankees tied it up. And Game 5, an opportunity to take the series lead. So it could turn quickly like that, but it also could turn quickly the other way where it's like right before your eyes, you're getting ready for the game Sunday, and you look up and you got to win 4 straight games in order to keep your season alive and go to the World Series. So tomorrow's big. Tomorrow decides the series. If the Yankees win tomorrow, series is they're back in it. They're not completely back in it, but they live to fight another day where, Sunday would be a great, again, they got to find a way. They have to win two of the 3 home games because if they lose 2 of the 3 home games, their season's over because they're down 2-0. They have to win 2 of the 3. So your best chance of doing that is winning on Saturday with Cole, winning Sunday with Nestor. You can't leave it up Monday up to Tyone to keep the series alive, keep the season alive, and to keep it to go back to Houston. I just don't want to have to happen. So puts a lot of pressure, but again, this is where we find ourselves. So just want to start off a little bit of baseball. I know it's probably, I'm sure a lot of football fans out there, not quite what you want to hear, but I should have said in the beginning you could skip ahead. But we'll now go to the Football Friday. Here as last night you had the Cardinals-Saints. Cardinals got the job done 42-34. So that was a big win for Arizona. DeAndre Hopkins in his return. I did predict Arizona to win, and no, I'm not just saying that because they won. I did, in fact, predict them. I know I didn't make my pick on Wednesday, but with Hopkins back, I'm not a huge, Dalton out there. I like the Cardinals. I know they were home, but I still liked Arizona, especially with D-Hop back. So I had Arizona winning, which now I'm 1-0 on the week, so I'm 55-40 overall after last night's win. And overall this season, Thursday night games, I am now 6-1. So there's been some really bad Thursday night football games, but I found a way to be 6-1. And last night was actually pretty entertaining, 42-34. Not many, I think the first 6 Thursday night football games, probably the combined score was 42 points in Arizona, or outside of week 1 against Buffalo. That was the only other good one. But we actually saw some scoring last night. We saw, Andy Dalton throw 4 touchdowns, but he had 3 interceptions. We saw Kyler Murray throw a touchdown. But we did see, Hopkins come back. He had 10 catches for 103 yards. So there was definitely a lot more offense yesterday, without a doubt. Which was good to see. But now we go into this weekend, and I'll start off with the Jets, and I'll actually make my Jet pick first, and then we'll get to the rest of the NFL, and I'll try to be quick with the rest of the NFL. But yesterday we hear the news that Elijah Moore has requested a trade, and he obviously has requested a trade away from the Jets, and Saleh spoke on it today, and I actually really liked what Saleh had to say. So to give you a timeline, I know if you guys watch my In the Trench with Gang Green podcast that I do on Apple, I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit, but also to put it out there for those of you who just watch the YouTube channel. It all kind of starts, this season, Jets stand at 4-2. It's so frustrating because you're 4-2, you're on a 3-game win streak, and you have a selfish player that is just simply, he's a loser. Let's basically put it at that. And that's where we're kind of at with the situation right now. And to put it in another simple term is, worried about himself, not really worrying about the team, and has now requested a trade. And this kind of always goes back to Sunday night after the Green Bay win, where Rich Cimini, who's a insider for the New York, or a beat writer for the New York Jets, tweets something out about him having 0 catches. And Elijah Moore tweets back at him and basically says, look, we're winning. I'm happy about it, but I'm not happy about my production. I want to be involved more, all that stuff. Saleh gets notice of it, obviously. You know how the New York media is. Ask him a question on a Monday. He says it's all right. They talk to Elijah Moore. He's okay. He just wants to be more involved. He says that's the competitive spirit in him. And let's be real here. As much as the Jets don't do a good job of relaying things to the media, and maybe that's the way Woody Johnson and the organization wants it. I mean, for so many years now, the Jets never give accurate information. And it's not like they won't reveal the information to the media. It's sometimes just simple things. Like, it's sometimes basic things. Like messing up injury diagnosis. Like, at first saying Becton will be all right, he'll miss a couple days, to, Becton's done for the year. It's all that kind of stuff. At first, the Jets, there's so many different injury moments that have happened, even last year. Twice with the Becton injury. Oh, he'll be out a couple weeks, but he'll be back. And he goes on to miss the rest of the season. There's been a handful of times where the media will ask questions, it will be basic questions, and the Jets find a way to screw it up. It always has been. Seems like it maybe always will be. But he kind of answered it. We kind of just went along with it. And then yesterday you hear the news that he was out of practice, wasn't at the facility due to a family matter. And you hear all the beat reporters say different things about, is this due to a trade? And, as a fan, you try to think and you hope that everything's okay with his family. It's not like it's something off the field that's going on. But the real reason was he got in. Now we're hearing more details that he got into it with Mike LaFleur, the Jets offensive coordinator. Saleh said today things kind of reached a boiling point, and they felt it was best to send Elijah Moore home, send him home to his family, kind of get him, reset day in a way mentally, and get his mind back right, and then come back tomorrow, being Friday now. Obviously, this happened yesterday, and get back to work tomorrow. Well, sure enough, he goes home, requests a trade, and now this is where we stand here today. So he's inactive for the Broncos game, and to put it short and sweet, this is selfish by Elijah Moore. The Jets are on a 3-game win streak. They're 4-2 this season. They're playing some of their best football we have seen in a decade. And you have a young receiver who has played 17 games, by the way, 11 last year and 6 games this season, complaining that he's not getting the football enough. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. You're 4-2. It's not like the Jets. It's not like this is week 15 and the Jets are a 4-win team and Elijah Moore's got like 500 receiving yards, barely any catches, Zach Wilson's not playing well, and he's frustrated. Then it would be a little bit understandable. But you're winning games. And if you really wanted to be a good teammate, a culture-changing type player, you should be happy for your teammates. You should be happy to see Breece Hall play like he's playing. You should be happy to see, guys like, even a guy like a Garrett Wilson making some plays. Are you kidding me with this, I'm not getting the ball enough for my production, all that stuff? Ridiculous. It really is. It really is ridiculous. It's loser mentality. It's a guy that clearly, ship him to Carolina. Guy that clearly doesn't care about winning, only worried about himself. And Brandon Tierney, who does a great job at WFAN with Tiki and Tierney, tweeted something out today that I couldn't agree more with. He wrote, I'm glad this, Elijah Moore shows this now than after we paid him, one less big contract we got to pay down the road. And that's the truth. I don't think Elijah Moore, because again, we talk about the Jets culture. When Robert Saleh held his press conference at back in January of 2021, when we introduced him as the head coach and we were all super pumped up, he said that he wants guys that are fully committed to winning, high character guys that love the game of football, all these great things. Do anything it takes to win. Whatever it takes, whether it's playing a different position, whether it's a different role, whatever it is, that's who he wants. Elijah Moore is the complete opposite of that. And I am very, very glad the New York Jets are benching him this week. They're not playing him. They're not going to trade him. That's what Saleh said, although that is one thing you won't say. Saleh's not going to sit up there. No coach is going to sit up there and say, hey guys, we're going to trade him. We're looking for the team to we're just looking to see what the best offer is. Nobody's going to say that. Even if Saleh didn't want to put a no to it, he probably could have said, look, that's more of a question for Douglas, or we're always looking at options, or something like that. It could have been one of those. He's not going to sit up there and tell you, yeah, we're looking to trade him. We'll let you guys know. The best deals are coming in. Right? He's not going to do that. But I think this is a good stand by Saleh. It is. I think he handled it pretty well today. There's definitely been some questionable things he said in some heated moments with the Jets, and I thought he handled it pretty well. My biggest thing is I just hope this doesn't affect the locker room. And Bart Scott, who also does a great job on Jets game plan, was saying how there's stronger character guys in this locker room. There's guys, and you hear Sauce tweet something out today about it. There's guys in this locker room that know what's up, and obviously Elijah Moore. Who cares? Who cares? You're a loser. You don't have any, you don't care about winning. You're selfish. Get out of here. I don't want you anywhere near this team. And I think it's a good stand by Saleh. That look, if you're gonna trade him, Or if you're going to request a trade and you're not going to, help the team, then you could sit this week and don't even come with us to Denver. Don't even get on that plane. You can sit home. You can do some stuff on your own at Sunday at the training facility while we go on the road and try to get a win with guys who care about winning, not guys who are worried about their personal stats. I mean, I could give you so many guys. Did you hear Elijah Vera Tucker complaining about him going all over on the offensive line? No. You don't hear Michael Carter complaining that he has now been the number 2 running back now that Breece Hall's been the premier back. As a matter of fact, Michael Carter has actually mentored Breece Hall. He has taken that role of being a mentor. Elijah Moore, I don't think he's done much mentoring to Garrett Wilson. You hear CJ Uzama complaining that he's not getting the ball. He's been practically just a blocking tight end. You don't hear him complaining. It's Garrett Wilson the past couple weeks. His numbers have dipped a little bit. You don't hear him complaining. CJ Mosley restructuring his contract. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Elijah Moore is the only one complaining. And look, I want to say this too about the Jets. Stick to your game plan. Don't all of a sudden now try to force the ball to receivers just because of what happened to Elijah Moore. All right, Elijah Moore is just selfish. That's just the way he is. And like Brandon Tierney said, who does a great job with WFA, like I mentioned earlier, WFAN, he does a great job with it. He said it earlier. This is just one less guy you got to worry about. It's one less contract you got to worry about down the road. See you later, Elijah. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. All right, and I think that's where we kind of stand right now, because you want to be like that. You want to have that loser mentality. You want to just care about yourself. Go be it. Look. You can go join a 1-5 Carolina team, put up the best numbers of your life, and let's not kid ourselves either. Elijah Moore has a lot of talent, but it's not like this is Megatron we're talking about here, where all of a sudden his numbers have been great and now all of a sudden are taking a dip. Like, you're not the best receiver in the NFL. We're not going to force feed you the ball. We have other weapons. The defenses we've played have done a good job defending the pass. Our run game's been working. Like, you're not Jerry Rice out there like you're some stud receiver. And when you're giving up on routes too, and it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. It really is sad. You're embarrassing yourself, Elijah Moore. That's the simplest way to put it. You're embarrassing yourself. So, you want to go do that? You want to have a loser mentality? You want to be selfish? You want to embarrass yourself? Be like Elijah Moore, because that's what he basically did yesterday. So, that's where I see that's my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on the Elijah Moore situation. All right, so now we get to our game picks and everything else. I know 27 minutes in, 2 big stories to cover. Christian McCaffrey also on the Niners now, which is a big move. Panthers didn't, got a couple of picks in a return. They didn't get a first-round pick, which I think a big reason why is because McCaffrey's had an injury history. And, I don't fully blame, the Niners for not doing that, for the Niners not give up a first-round pick, because he does have an injury history. But, man, oh, man, the Niners got really a lot better. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, when he's healthy, I always say he's one of the more elusive and just one of the best running backs in football when he's out there and when he's healthy, and he's shown that a lot. So, they get an upgrade. Carolina continues to sell. Got rid of Ray Anderson earlier in the week. Now getting rid of CMC. And I'll tell you what, the CMC trade rumors now, as the trade deadline gets closer, those were the type of rumors that you hear, and I didn't really think it was going to happen. And I get up, this morning, and I see on my phone, Christian McCaffrey traded to the Niners. I'm like, oh, wow. The Niners actually just did that. And you heard some other sprinklings of some other teams. Rams made a strong push. You heard some of those other things. Niners got on the phone. They got the job done, and good for them. They spotted a player that they feel like could help the team, and they got on the phone. Hey, what do you want? What do you need? We'll give it to you. Boom, get the deal done. And CMC's is in San Francisco, Santa Clara, whatever you want to call it. San Francisco now. And he's with the Niners and Deebo Samuel, CMC, Garoppolo, Ayuk, Kittle. Niners got some serious weapons. They really do, especially now with a true premier back. All right, so we'll get to the game picks here. Ravens, Browns, 1 Eastern, CBS. Ravens 3-3, Browns 2-4. Ravens 6.5-point favorites. Over under set at 45.5. I'll take the Ravens at home. Browns just haven't been able to win games. They've been struggling, blowing some leads. Just been outplayed. So give me the Ravens, more talent at home. Ravens get above 500 here. I'll take the Ravens. 27-13 Ravens win. I'll take the over on the over-under, or under on the over-under of 45.5, and then the Ravens get the job done and cover the 6.5 points. 1 Eastern on Fox. Buccaneers 3-3. Panthers 1-5. Bucks 13-point favorites. Over under set at 39.5. Give me the Bucks big time 31-10. Panthers got nobody. PJ Walker starting. They're not good. They just got rid of CMC. Give me the Bucks big win on the road. Bucks get the win 31-10. I'll take the over on the over under 39.5, and then the Bucks cover the 13 points. Colts Titans. Colts 3-2-1. Titans 3-2. 1 Eastern, CBS. Titans 2.5-point favorites, over under 42. I like the Titans offense a little bit here better. They're at home. Still not a huge believer in this Colts offense. I like the Titans, their defense, and their offense to make some plays at home. Give me Tennessee with a big AFC South victory. 20-17. Close. They just cover the 2.5. But give me Tennessee. Close. But they get the job done. I'll take the under on the over under 42. And I'll take Tennessee. Give me the Titans in this game. Bengals, Falcons, 1 Eastern on Fox. Bengals 3-3. Falcons 3-3. Bengals 6.5-point favorites. Over under set at 45.5. I look at this game and I say to myself, the Bengals have a real good chance to make up some ground these next couple weeks. They got Atlanta. They got Cleveland. They got Carolina. They have a bye week, Pittsburgh, and then Tennessee. Those are 5 winnable games. Tennessee's probably the toughest one there, but the other 4 are very winnable. And then you got Kansas City. This is a good opportunity for the Bengals to just take it week by week. They're better than a lot of these opponents coming up. The opportunity, to get some wins, get back to the football they were playing last season. Give me Cincinnati at home, big time. Big. I don't think it'll be crazy big. Give me them 27-17 at home. I think the Falcons will keep it relatively close, but give me the Bengals 27-17. I'll take the under on the over under 47, and then the Bengals get the win. I think they do cover the 6.5. Bengals win and cover. All right, so now we go on to our next game here. Lions, Cowboys. Cowboys 4-2. Lions 1-4. Cowboys 6.5. Over under set at 49. 1 Eastern on CBS. I'm going to take the Cowboys here. Dak Prescott is back. I think the offense is going to play well. I think Dak's going to have a big game in his return. Cowboys bounce back after a tough loss Sunday night against Philly. Give me the Cowboys at home. Dak's return, 31-35. And then they put up a lot of points because Detroit's defense has been atrocious. 35-17 Cowboys win. I'll take the over on the over under 49. I think the Cowboys cover the 6.5 points. Give me the Cowboys. Packers, Commanders. Packers 3-3, 4.5-point favorites. Commanders 2-4. Over under set at 41.5. 1 Eastern on Fox. I just can't picture the Packers losing 3 straight. The Commanders without Wentz. They got some injuries. Heineke, all these different guys. Possibility of playing quarterback. I believe it's going to be Heineke. I don't think they'll go Howell. So I think Heineke. But give me the Packers. They're not going to lose again. They just can't. Washington has no offense. Matt LaFleur, Rodgers, and them after back-to-back losses, they're going to be ready to go. Give me Green Bay on the road. Big win, bouncing back from a couple tough losses. Give me Green Bay 28-10. Big win for Green Bay. I'll take the under on the over-under 41.5, and then Green Bay covers the 4.5 points. We now go to the 4 o'clock games. You got Texans, Raiders. Raiders 1-4, Texans 1-3-1. Raiders 7-point favorites, over-under set at 46, 4:05 p.m. Eastern. On CBS. I'm going to take the Raiders here. Just a more talented team. I think after, again, these are games too for them. They got to win. They got to win these games. I like the Raiders at home. Give me Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, and the Raiders. Give me the Raiders here at home. 31-20. Raiders win. I'll take the over on the over-under 51, and the Raiders get the job done. Cover the 7 points. Chiefs 49ers, 4:25 p.m. on Fox. Chiefs 4-2, Niners 3-3, Chiefs 2-point favorites, over under set at 49. I'm going to take Kansas City here, coming off a loss against Buffalo last week. I think they're going to bounce back. I don't think CMC is going to play. Give me Kansas City with a big road win, bouncing back after a tough loss last week against Buffalo at home. Give me Kansas City close, 27-24. A late field goal wins it. Under on the over under. 49, I think Kansas City gets the job done at home. Over on the over-under 49, gets the job done on the road. Just cover the 2 points. Give me Kansas City. Chargers, Seahawks. Chargers 4-2, Seahawks 3-3. Over-under set at 50.5. Chargers are a smaller 5-point favorite here at home, 4:25 p.m. Eastern on Fox. I think this is a close game. I'm going to take LA. I'm going to take the Chargers and Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen coming back. But I think it's relatively close. I think they cover, but I don't think this is a lopsided 20-point game that it might look like it could be on paper. Keenan Allen comes back. That's what puts me over the edge here for the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. 28-20. A late touchdown seals the deal. Chargers win 28-20. They cover the 5. I'll take the under on the over-under 50.5, and the Chargers get the job done at home in Keenan Allen's most likely in his return after an injury. And to close off Sunday, close it out, 8:20 p.m. Eastern on NBC, Dolphins-Steelers. Dolphins are 3-3. Steelers are 2-4. Dolphins come into this one at home, 7.5-point favorites. Over-under set at 45.5. Tua will return. Give me the Dolphins at home. I just don't think Trubisky, whoever's at quarterback for the Steelers, I just don't think they're going to get the job done. I like the Dolphins. More talent on that roster. Give me Miami. Low-scoring affair, 23-13. Miami wins. I'll take the under on the over-under 45.5. I think Miami covers the 7.5 points. All right, quick. Now you go to the locals with the Giants and the Jets. Giants 5-1. Jaguars 2-4. Giants head down to Jacksonville. The Jaguars are a small 3-point favorite for this game. Over-under set at 43, 1 Eastern on Fox. So I'm going to take the Giants. Here's my deal. Brian Daboll's winning. The Giants are winning. It might not be the prettiest football ever, but they're getting the job done. That's all that matters. I know Jacksonville has shown some positives, but I like the Giants. I like their coaching. Jacksonville kind of was that feel-good team coming out of week 3, 2-1. Big win against the Chargers, 38-10, all that kind of great stuff. They have lost the last 3 weeks in a row. They have all been by 1 score. But I do think the Giants win this game. 5-1 team on the road. It's not going to be a crazy, crazy environment. Give me the Giants. 6-1 on the year. I think the Giants coaching, Dable, Doug Peterson, 2 good coaches, actually. I'm going to take the Giants. I mean, I'm not going to pick against them here. I mean, I do think the Jaguars, definitely have been competitive this season, definitely are much better than where they were last year, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, the Giants, they're finding ways to win. I'm not even going to sit here and say the Giants have more talent because they don't have a ton of talent. They're just winning because their coaching's been so good. Give me the Giants. Low scoring, 20-13, Giants win. I'll take the under on the over-under of 43, and I'll take the Giants +3. And as for the Jets 4-2, Broncos 2-4. Broncos a small 1-point favorite at home, over-under at low 38.5, 4:05 p.m. Eastern on CBS. 88% of people think the Jets will win this game. Like to see that. And I'm going to join the 88% of those people. I do think the Jets win this game. Look, this is a very winnable game for the New York Jets. I know with all the Elijah Moore news coming out, you hope it doesn't affect the locker room. I think what's pivotal for the Jets in this game is you just got to put up some points. Your defense, if the defense plays like it does last week, you're going to win this game. You should win this game. The offense has been terrible for the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson, although he seems like he'll be good to go after what seemed like maybe a little bit of a severe injury, a hamstring injury at the beginning of the week, he seems like he'll be ready to go. You still don't know how much, is he going to be at 100%? And even with him being healthy, even with the shoulder issue, he just hasn't been very good this season. They're coming off a tough loss, a little bit of a shorter week for them. It is a tough road environment. It's high altitude. I get all that. Very good defense. The Jets just got to do what they've done the past couple weeks. Run the football, establish the run, passing game, take what the defense gives you. This isn't going to be the game where Zach's going to need it, shouldn't. Zach's not, I don't think Zach, this isn't, if you're looking for a Zach Wilson, 280-yard, 3-touchdown performance game, this isn't it. The Broncos are very good, and they got a very good secondary, and a very good defense. It's going to be the run game again, similar to last week, is what I think. But give me the Jets, because I like the run game. It's a winnable game. Things are starting to change around the Jets in terms of the narrative and the perspective around the league. Give me the New York Jets. Road wins for both New York teams. Give me the Jets on the road, 23-17. I'll take the over or under on the over-under of 30.5. And then the Jets win. Jets +1 on the road. Pick up their 5th win of the season. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Love to see that. All right, so now let's get to the rest of the sports world. Tonight you got a ton of basketball games. You got the Knicks Pistons at home. Knicks 0-1, Pistons 1-0. Knicks 7.5-point favorites. Over under set 220.5. 7:30 p.m. Eastern MSG. And you also got Nets Raptors tonight. 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Yes. I'll get a good look rocking the Nets sweatshirt today. I'll get a good look at the Nets tonight. The other night, obviously with the Yankees playoffs being on right now, that takes priority over some other games. So I was watching that yesterday or on Wednesday, and I saw a little bit of the Nets game, watched the highlights, recorded parts, checked in and, saw some things. And it wasn't good. It was ugly. They got smoked by the Pelicans. So tonight, I'll be watching it from start to finish. I'll be dialed in. And as a fan, in Game 2, I'm just trying to see, Joe Harris is in tonight. As a fan, it's Game 2. If they lose tonight, I'm going to be obviously upset. You want to see a win. But what I'm really looking for tonight is seeing what is this net team bring to the table and the adjustments that they could make from Game 1. Because Game 1 was ugly. And I even watched and I saw parts of it, but it was ugly. So tonight, I'm looking forward to getting an opportunity to really take a good look at this team. What's Royce O'Neal all about? Let's see Joe Harris coming back off the ankle, all that stuff. Now you get getting a little healthier. I know Seth Curry's still out, TJ Warren's still out. Hopefully those guys come back soon, which seems like it'll be the case. But tonight I'm looking forward for it to kind of just see what this team's all about, see what's causing the issues, because there definitely are some things that we need to make adjustments on. And was Game 1 what we're gonna see all year, where we don't make free throws? It's still heavy. There needs to be more rhythm within the offense. I understand that. I would like to see what Ben Simmons can do. I think our perimeter shooters are important here. I would like to see what Ben Simmons can do in terms of his defense. His free throw shooting's got to get better. It has to be better. Especially, I know it's only Game 2, and we still got 81. After tonight, you got 80 games left, and I'm not trying to rush to the postseason, but if you do just think postseason time, he can't be missing free throws. You can't, or else teams are just going to foul him, and you're going to lose. You're going to lose that way. He's got to be better with that. So. Looking at some new look guys tonight, trying to get a good gauge. Gonna take this, look at this from an angle of what do I see in Game 1 of Game 2 of the season? What do they need to work on? What's the good, the bad? And really watching this team, can they truly compete for a 4-5 seed in the East, or are they gonna try to be fighting for another play-in spot, or are they gonna be a complete mess and KD and Kyrie are gonna want out by the middle of the season? That's where we're at with this team. Hopefully it's option 1 where we're fighting for a high seed in the Eastern Conference and we go into it with high, expectations to win a final. But we'll see how it all plays out. So anyway, let's get to the fantasy. As for fantasy football, obviously with Keenan Allen being back, he's a must play in a lot of rosters. We did get the news a little bit ago that J.K. Dobbins will be out 4 to 6 weeks, so he'll be on IR. I placed him on IR in my one league. I put in Michael Carter this week. Definitely possibility. I might have to trade for a running back. I'm going Michael Carter this week. I know a lot of people have Devin Singletary. You could go him. You could go with Tony Pollard. If you're in a deeper league, you could go, a smaller league in terms of like roster size. Maybe a guy like an A.J. Dillon could be an option as well. As a possible fill-in just for this week, because trades now are obviously going to be tough to get done. But I think Keenan Allen's a big return. Obviously, if you got Dak Prescott, put him back in your lineups. I expect him to have a big week against a Detroit defense that is atrocious. He's back. Keenan Allen should be back. I know a lot of people, including myself, with Darren Waller being questionable but not expected to play after he remained silent at Thursday's practice. Projected 0 points. Doesn't look like he'll be ready to go. Gerald Everett's an option. Kyle Pitts, I know some people have given up on him. Some leagues, if there's been some people that panicked and got rid of him, some leagues Kyle Pitts is available in. Not a lot of them, but there are some leagues. Definitely check. Because I checked the one day and I saw he was available, and I almost blew up for a second. I was like, what? Kyle Pitts is available? And I instantly claimed him because, look, yes, he struggled the first couple weeks of the season, but it's Kyle Pitts. He's going to get better. He's going to, he should improve. And last week he had a good week having 10 points, and he scored a touchdown. You would still like to see a little bit more receptions, but hopefully that continues, hopefully that continues to go up throughout the regular season. Again, Gerald Everett, a guy like a Hayden Hurst could be an option as his questionable designation is removed this week. Taysom Hill, obviously some people had him last night. So those are a couple options. At the flex spot, I picked up Jacoby Myers with this week being a big bye week for the Vikings. So Justin Jefferson's out, Adam Thielen's out, Dalvin Cook's out. A lot of good receivers, a lot of good flex options, even with the Bills. Gabe Davis out, Stephon Diggs out. A lot of talent this week is on a bye week. So a guy like a Jacoby Myers, who in ESPN's is only rostered in 78.7, but plus 1.9% of leagues. So he's going up a little bit. 15.7 has been his average point this year. Every week, the 4 out of the 6 weeks he's played, he's at double-digit points. 10, 18, 24, 10. He's a very solid receiver, and he hasn't shown any signs of slowing down, even with Bailey Zappi being at quarterback. But with Mac Jones getting healthier, you hope he can have another big week against a Miami secondary that's weak. Or against a Chicago team. They're not playing Miami. Against Chicago, where you should be able to beat them. They are a good defense, but Jacoby Myers has had a good year, and he's done it against some solid teams. So he's an option there as well at the flex spot. Another guy could be, with Jahan Dotson too being questionable, though he very well could play. He could be an option there. A.J. Dillon, Curtis Samuel, all these guys could all be possible options. Even if you want to pick up a guy like a Michael Gallup, with Dak returning, his production could go up a little bit as well. So, or you could go 2 tight end set. If you found a way to pick up Kyle Pitts in one of your league, and maybe you have a guy like you could go 2 tight ends too if you want to go deep like that. Maybe a guy like a Gerald Everett. Jacoby Myers is a big pickup this week too. A lot of different guys out there. So we'll see how it all plays out. And as for fantasy basketball, so right now we're doing a categories league. So right now I'm losing 3-5-0, which means it breaks up into field goal percentage, free throw percentage, 3-point made, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and points. So right now I'm 3-5-0. It's close though. And injuries in fantasy basketball. Jamal Murray tonight, for those of you out there who do fantasy basketball, Murray sports a questionable designation for Friday's game against the Warriors due to left knee injury management. So right now he's on my bench. I put DeJounte Murray at point guard for him, and I got everybody going tonight other than Kawhi Leonard and Maxey. He's on my bench right now, so I'll definitely keep an eye on it to see how all that plays out with the first weekend of fantasy basketball coming up. Should be a lot of fun. First full weekend of basketball as well. So a lot to look forward to this weekend. Hockey continues. Fantasy basketball opens up. The NBA season is just starting. The sports equinox yesterday for the first time. The 26th sports equinox, I think it was yesterday, where a football game, baseball, hockey, and basketball games were all on yesterday. And to give you some specifics, so yesterday marked just the 26th sports equinox ever, as there was an NFL, MLB, NBA, and NHL game all on the same day. Obviously, Saints-Cardinals in the NHL, Yankees-Astros last night. You had Bucks, 76ers, Clippers, and Lakers, where Russell Westbrook forgot how to score, apparently, although that's kind of been 0 for 11 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 points scored, and he said that he fought hard in his post-game press conference, which didn't make sense. And there was also 12 NHL games. Also yesterday, there was college football, MLS playoffs, and much more. So yesterday was a pretty great day of sports, and it should continue throughout the weekend, so looking forward to it. All right, so that will do it for the podcast here today. Very, very, very good day of sports coming up. An exciting weekend. Yankees back at it tomorrow. Must win. Got to find a way to win 2 at home to extend this series. Phillies-Padres game 3 tonight. Citizens Bank Park should be rocking in Philly. So that should be a good one. Nets, Rangers, Yankees, Jets, Giants. A lot to look forward to. Islanders as well. Hockey, basketball, football, and baseball to keep it pretty simple. And looking forward to it. So Jets, go Yankees, go Nets, go Rangers. Looking for a good weekend ahead. As always, we'll see you all back here on the flip side. I will see you all back here. Enjoy your weekend. See you all back here on Monday. Hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching.